very well-researched statement. Mr. Speaker, a statement to commemorate World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Mr. Speaker, this is a phenomenon which has been going on for years. And as a country, it has reached levels that we are all appalled about. We all condemn what particularly female elderly people are put through in our society. Mr. Speaker, I take the view that it is an extreme embarrassment, a national disgrace, that in this century and in this era, we still have witches' camps dotted at several places in our country. Mr. Speaker, on this day, I want to join colleagues and the Honorable Ablaji and call for the abolishment of all these witches' camps. These camps must be closed and closed immediately. They represent a grave violation of the human rights of our senior citizens. That those camps still exist, Mr. Speaker, is a scar on our collective conscience. And Mr. Speaker, I believe that as lawmakers, nothing should even stop us from pursuing a private member's bill to totally abolish this practice and make it illegal for witches' camps to exist. I think it's long overdue because it's really a disgrace. It is a national embarrassment. It is an anathema, an abomination. It's not something we should entertain, we should tolerate at all, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, what is sad is that you can see that this is clear discrimination against elderly people who are in a vulnerable category. Mr. Speaker, in this country, if you are elderly and you are rich, if she's a rich woman who has some inheritance her children can have, she's never declared a witch. But once you are poor, once you don't have earnings, you don't have property, you are very vulnerable, then you are immediately classified a witch. Accept any. And in doing so, Mr. Speaker, we must also call to order those who hide under religious practices. People go for prayers, and then all of these charlatans, false prophets, which the Bible tells us will abound in the last days. As Christians, we shouldn't forget that the Bible tells us that in the last days, many false prophets will abound. And these false prophets are in active practice. And they tell people that, oh, it's your grandmother. It's that old woman in your house. She is responsible for your woes. She is responsible for your unemployed status. She is responsible for the difficulties you are facing in life. Mr. Speaker, we cannot accept this. And the majority leader is asking me to cite. Well, I would ignore that bit. But Mr. Speaker, that knows that this has become quite a common phenomenon. And sometimes they don't even hide it. They broadcast it. You see it on television, on radio, where they claim to be prophesying and point some elderly person in the home who is responsible of their members. Mr. Speaker, this must stop. As a country, we are happy that life expectancy is going up. I was looking at the current statistics, and life expectancy in Ghana has increased to about 64 years, up from 61 years in 2019. And the projection is that it's going to continue to go up to even catch up with the global average, which is 72 years. Mr. Speaker, what is revealing about Ghana's demographics is that the females are growing older, whereas for men it's 63.7 years. For females, for our women, it's 69.2 years. So our women are living longer. And we should tell you that there is a lot we should be learning from our women. Our women are living well. They have very good, healthy lifestyle. They know how to handle stress. Look at what women go through. A lot of them, single parents. They would single-handedly take care. And we are all, most of us here can attest to that. The power of a single mother, of an industrious woman who will juggle, take care of children, take care of their home, and still work, trade, make money, and keep the family afloat. And Mr. Speaker, instead of us learning from our senior citizens, our elderly women, how they are able to cope, how they are able to manage stress and all of that, and how they are able to live longer, they rather become victims of society in old age. Mr. Speaker, this cannot continue. And that's why I would also want to commend our colleagues, the Honorable Sosu and the Honorable Gisao, who have a private members bill to make sure that witchcraft is outlawed. Mr. Speaker, we must all support that effort, and we must ensure that witch camps do not exist. I know the gender ministry started some work under Nana Oyelita, which I'm sure her successors have continued. But the pace has been very, very slow. And really, this phenomenon should not exist. And I think as colleagues, every member of parliament who has this camps in their constituency, they should all feel affronted, sufficiently outraged, so that we work together to have this witch camps closed. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to also commend the maker of the statement for drawing our attention to gender-based violence. It is on the increase when you look at the statistics. Mr. Speaker, the statistics are very, very frightening indeed. That according to Action Aid in 2022, they declared gender-based violence a pandemic. And they say that in Ghana, public health reports show that 33 to 37% of women have experienced gender-based violence. That is about 1/3, Mr. Speaker, of our women who are experiencing gender-based violence. Mr. Speaker, the fairer sex should be protected. They should be loved. They should be cared for. We must make sure that they feel safe. We must not hound them. We must not attack them. We must not be assaulting them. And so this is a terrible, terrible statistic. And that brings to mind, Mr. Speaker, what happened only this week. This week, there was a viral video, which was very, very, very disheartening, Mr. Speaker. We all saw that viral video. A woman somewhere in the Upper East region of Fulani extraction. And, I mean, men pounced on her. And we are told the story is that they were punishing her for the sins of her husband. Mr. Speaker, can you believe that? That her husband is suspected to be a rapist, and so they decided to take it out on her. I mean, it's unimaginable, Mr. Speaker. And the women are always the easy targets. And this cannot continue. I want to commend the IGP, though, Mr. Speaker, for the swift action. He intervened himself, ordered arrests, and I'm told that 4 of the perpetrators have been arrested so far. They must know that this House condemns that kind of conduct, and we will not accept our women continuously suffering gender-based violence, lynching of elderly people in the name of witchcraft. All of those things must stop. And I commend the maker of the statement. Even though she is nowhere near old age, she's still very young and pretty. We salute her for bringing this to our attention. And Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Yes.